We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. It is November 27th. Black Friday is over. Is today what we call Cyber Monday? Today is Cyber Monday. You need to know there was a time when I asked Rose to pay attention. Okay, there you are. Now, Rose brings in a TV, like this 90-inch TV today for a screen, says she can't see. So she brings it.
Okay, wait. 90 inches might be a little bit of an exaggeration.
Okay, let me do the exaggerating here. Okay, let me stay with the exaggerating. So she brings in this 56-inch TV that she jacked from some kid Friday night at the Black Friday sale. I mean, so she probably got this for $29 that she jacked from some little kid. Some poor little kid was going to watch her cartoons, but Rose said, no, I can't see in the morning. So anyhow, if you thought it, I can't see. You know who she is. What was the guy on Tool Time? What was that show?
His name was Wilson.
Yeah, that's Wilson right there. Wilson is Rose. I just could see, like, she'll go like this from time to time. I said, okay. Anyhow, good morning, everybody. Glad to have you here. The holidays are well underway. I hope everybody had a safe and a happy Thanksgiving. You had plenty of turkey. You got to watch a parade. You got to watch the dog show. I love the dog show every year. Just let's get ready for December and Old St. Nick. This is how you can get in touch with the show, 706-889-9700, 706-889-9700. You can also, email us at chief@fetchernews.com, chief@fetchernews.com, and follow us on Twitter @FetcherNews, and follow us also at FYNTV. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be FYN TV Fetcher News on YouTube. When you subscribe, it will let you know when we're airing something live. It'll also let you know when we post a new video. So there's a couple things we're going to go over. Now, this is not a joke. This is really not a joke. Okay. I hope you were able to make it through the holidays without any groping, okay? Seriously, have we gone overboard, okay? I read an article, now I forget who it is, a mascot that's being sued for groping a fan. I'm serious, Google it. It's a mascot. I forget, I had it on one of my emails here, but it was early on last week, like Thursday or something. I read a mascot is being sued. A mascot for a sports team is being sued for groping a fan. Wow. And you know what? Who would have thought due process would be an option? Put that up. I sent you I want to keep due process around, Sam. I want to keep who thought due process would even be an option? I mean, you have to believe the women immediately. There's no excuse for not believing these women immediately. So Nancy Pelosi goes on MSNBC or NBC with Chuck Todd, and concerning John Conyers, it's now time to implement due process. Due process is the greatest thing. Watch also, folks, I want to just lead you down this road. Watch Ethics Committee, okay? Watch all these Ethics Committee hearings and what will happen in the Ethics Committee, all right? Due process. Let me tell you something. The due process is they will not stop until they write the rules and regulations all the way to your business, your private business. They want your private business. So now all of a sudden, due process is an option. That's an option. So before we get really started today, obviously, hey, over in Alabama, The Auburn-Alabama seasonal game. Whoo! Wow. Did you notice there were not that many Roll Tide on social media? You didn't hear Roll Tide. You know what I love is Alabama fan sympathizers. You know, well, even when our team doesn't win, we love them. We love our Tide. We love our Alabama. So I was okay, all right. It was really enjoyable to watch all the social media posts, the Alabama fans commiserating and how much they love their team, and look at how long it took for somebody to beat them, and so on and so forth. But we're going to talk college football at 8:30 with Jason Banks. Jason Banks is the head of Team FYN Sports. He's going to come on. We're going to talk a little college football, and want you to stick around for that. I want to talk. I'm going to open the show, and Sam, let me know when you have those pictures ready. Okay. All right. In August, pretty sure. Let me see what I have posted here. I think in August of 2014. Now today is the state of Georgia versus Nydia Tisdale. And why is this a big story, and why is there interest here, and what is taking place? Now, the state of Georgia versus Nydia Tisdale, there's 2 charges against Nydia Tisdale. She was arrested at Burt's Pumpkin Farm over in Dawson County, Georgia, and she was arrested, and I think one of the charges is a felony charge, obstructing an officer, and then the other one is a private property violation. Okay, it's a misdemeanor private property violation, I think, and a felony charge of obstructing an officer, which would be Tony Wooten. So on August 23rd, 2014, there was a political rally at Burt's Pumpkin Farm. And today starts the trial. It's 11/27/2017 for these 2 charges. Now, there's some things here I'm going to say sources tell me. I'm not involved in it. But I want you to understand that if I was able to, and I'll tell you what happened in a minute, if I was able to reach out in front of me, if I could reach out in front of me, I would have been touching the back of Miss Tisdale's head. So I was directly behind Miss Tisdale when everything took place. I went to the event. I went to the event. I was there when Miss Tisdale was there. The interesting thing about this, and what makes this a pretty big story, is this was a campaign rally. And at this campaign rally, there was Mark Butler, the Department of Labor, Secretary of Labor, Department of Labor, Georgia. This is all Georgia. Mark Butler was there. Richard Woods, then running for Superintendent of Schools. Ralph Hudgens, the Insurance Commissioner. Gary Black, Agriculture Commissioner. On up Sam Owens, the Attorney General at that time. On up to the then candidate for Senate, David Perdue, and Congressman Doug Collins. And I know Brian Kemp was not there that day. He was not there that day. And I don't recall Casey Cagle being there. Maybe he was. I don't recall that. But it goes all the way up to the governor of the state of Georgia. Governor Nathan Deal and his wife, Sandra, I think that's her name, were sitting on the front row. Here's a couple things. I don't want to go too far because the trial starts today, and I have been called by the state. I mean, I don't know what they intend for me to do, but we wrote the story, and that is the picture there. The picture you see there is one of the pictures of Deputy, and that's Fetcher News' pictures. All of the pictures you have been looking at over the internet for the past several years belong to us, FetcherNews.com, and we took these pictures. This is Deputy, then Deputy Tony Wooten. Dawson County Sheriff's Office, then Deputy Tony Wooten. He's no longer there. He is removing Miss Tisdale from the Burt's Pumpkin Farm. Show me the other picture. This is the one that is probably, people have seen several times. This is him also removing Miss Tisdale from Burt's Pumpkin Farm. Okay. I took the pictures. I did some interviews with Miss Tisdale. I did interviews with Sheriff Carlisle immediately, and I wrote the story. I sat there and I wrote the story. I wrote the first story out of there that went viral. The thing will be, here's the thing, and the reason I want to bring this up, I can't go into too much detail because I'm going to be called. I don't know when. I don't know when they're going to call me, but I am going to comment on it daily. So every day I'm going to comment on this trial, specifically when I go over and I sit there. We do have a reporter that will be there. Bill Johnson will be there this week. And private property rights, that's going to come into question this week. Facebook, how many events have you started on Facebook? Do you realize I can go and set up an event on Facebook and you don't even know about it, and I may be saying, I may say we're going to have it in your front yard. I can set up an event. Setting up events on Facebook and then inviting people, your friends, going into your friends list, does that make it an open public if you tag it as public? If you go to Facebook and tag your event and you don't make it private and you make it public, what does that change? Did you just give your private property rights away? Now, there was an event created. Now, my understanding, sources tell me there was a notice put in the newspaper, okay, in that area, saying that they were having this political rally at Burt's Pumpkin Farm. All right? It's my understanding. Second, okay, as this unfolds, as I give my testimony or whatever they ask me, I'm going to come back and give it to you and let you be the judge this week, okay? Understanding that there's a clip that was put in a newspaper saying this event was open, all right? Understand there was a post on Facebook, not by the Burts, not by Johnny and Kathy Burt, the owners of Burt's Pumpkin Farm. They did not create the event on Facebook themselves. They did not post this, my understanding, they did not publish this in a newspaper, but they did host their property, they hosted this political event. Now, that being said, Miss Tisdale was videoing the event on private property. Now, I think it's the city of Cummins. Miss Tisdale has become kind of famous for winning a pretty large settlement against the city of Cumming. I think it's the city of Cumming, right? I don't know. I'm just doing it all off the top of my head. But she's become pretty famous for winning a pretty big settlement. She went into the city of Cumming, I think it was, and she turned on her video camera, and the mayor, then mayor, did not get reelected this last time, but the then mayor told her to turn off her video camera, okay? It told her that she could not video the city council meeting and went as far to have her removed. Now let's look at the facts. A, the city hall in the city of Cumming, if that's where it was, if I remember right, it belongs to the taxpayers. It's open to the public. It's not private property. The city meeting is covered under this, covered under the Georgia Sunshine Laws. Open meetings, okay? This is something, Georgia open meeting laws, right here on page 7, okay? All right. You have access. The open and public meeting law, all right? You have access. So the city council meeting was open to the public. It belongs to the public. They are servants of the public. All right? You could come in, you could turn your cell phone on, And you could do this at the city council meeting and you could video the entire thing. You can go into the city council meeting and you can turn your audio recorder on. You can take pictures. I have had people say this to me. They have said at a city council meeting, they come up, citizens, and they talk in the meeting, okay? And then we take a picture because they're talking about the road or whatever they're not happy with, or the water bill. And they will actually say to us, don't use that picture, or I don't want that picture. Well, you know, we regret to tell you that if you're in a city meeting or a county meeting, Board of Education, and it's a legal public meeting announced to the public through the legal organ that it's going to be a meeting, and you stand up, you have become part of the public meeting. But moving right along from that, Miss Tisdale made a pretty good, became overnight famous for the city of Cumming violating the Open Meetings Act. Now, this is not the first time Miss Tisdale's been removed from somewhere. She was removed from a restaurant for recording, a private restaurant. We won't go into that this morning. Just prior to Bert's Pumpkin Farm, a month, 2 months, I don't know, but she was removed from a restaurant where they did not want her recording their local ladies' Republican Party meeting, and she was removed. So it's not the city of Cummings. Bert's Pumpkin Farm's owned. It's private property. Okay? Bert's Pumpkin Farm is not belong to the citizens. Okay, they pay their taxes. Miss Tisdale had her video recorder going. We're not going to go too deep today, but Miss Tisdale had her video recorder going. Okay? And she was focused in on he's not running for re-election. I think he's still, Ralph Hudgens, the insurance commissioner. She was focused in and she had her video camera running. She's not at City Hall. It's on private property. Now, I will go into detail later, but the Berts, which they will probably testify, okay, the Berts may testify, I don't know what they're going to say, that they asked Miss Tisdale to have her camera turned off and not record. The Berts may testify today that they gave instruction to then Deputy Tony Wooten that if she did not turn her camera off, she had to leave. They may testify to that. They may testify that they told Wooten and Clint Bearden, okay, the person, they may testify that they told Tony Wooten, Deputy Wooten, to remove her. That is testimony that we're going to have to wait on. Because although Miss Tisdale has a cult following, now she does, you can go on the internet, she has run one heck of a campaign on this, all right? But no matter what, everybody's going to have to pay attention to the Facebook events, private property, open to the public. If you have a party at your property and you open it to the public, the whole entire community, at what time can you decide that party's over? At what time can you decide that person needs to leave your party? Could they say, hey, it was open to the public? So we're going to see. This is going to be big because it answers a whole lot of questions. Private property comes into play. Now, why is this a media interest? Okay? Why? It's going to be a media interest because it involves Governor Nathan Deal. Now, I don't know if Governor Nathan Deal has been subpoenaed to court today, because I don't know if Sandra Deal has been subpoenaed to court because they were sitting on the front row and watched her be removed. Okay? I don't know if Ralph Hudgens is going to be the insurance commissioner, going to be subpoenaed, and he's going to testify in the state of Georgia. Ralph Hudgens. Ralph Hudgens is the one that looked at the video camera and said something, not quote, why are we recording this, or something like that. And then Ralph Hudgens went around to the side and spoke to Clint Bearden or whatever, and maybe complained that they were recording that today. Okay? Maybe he will be there. Maybe former Attorney General Sam Owens will be there. You see, Sam Owens had just won the case for Tisdale that week. The ruling came out that week that Tisdale had won against the city of Cummings, that they had violated her freedom of her First Amendment. They had violated. See, that just came out that week. Maybe Sam Owens will testify. Governor Sam Owens? I don't know. Maybe they're going to call Gary Black. Maybe they're going to call, Senator David Perdue. I don't know. No idea. But it will have a lot of media coverage. Now, Ms. Tisdale, sources say, Ms. Tisdale says, I won't drop my civil rights lawsuit in exchange for my charges to be dropped in this matter. You see, don't forget, Ms. Tisdale already has her civil rights lawsuit in place, okay? And I've not been told this, but, supposedly the offer to drop the charges for dropping the civil rights lawsuit, and she won't drop her civil rights lawsuit. So we're going to find out this week. It lasts all week, and I'm going to report on it. Private property, or did Ms. Tisdale have the right to video? Should Ms. Tisdale left when she was asked to leave? If you're a homeowner, do you have the right to ask someone, security detail at your property, to ask somebody to leave? Are you supposed to do that? Can you do that? We'll find out. You don't want to miss this case all week. I'll bring it to you this week, and we'll have it day by day. So, what do you think? What's going to supersede? Private property? Was it an open meeting? Did she have the right to video no matter what the Burts said? If the Burts told Deputy Wooten, tell her to turn the camera off? See, she didn't turn the camera off. Now, I'm going to tell you this week my version of events, but we'll see what happens in the court. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I will tell you now, this case will go national. This will go national. There will be between the freedom of the press, okay, the freedom of the press, to the private property. So it will be a big one to decide. Now, put up this picture. Before we go to break, at 9 o'clock, I want to give you some things we're going to work on for that hour at 9 o'clock. Well, let's not wait. I mean, I like look, for those of you that don't know this, I come in here in the morning, I turn on Morning Joe. I just want to see. It took 30 minutes this morning to say Conyers, okay? It took John Conyers, that has already been proven. It's already been proven that there's been payments to settle sexual harassment cases. You see, I don't see any payment settlements for sexual harassment cases for Roy Moore. Now, get into that. We don't have this guy. We already have settled cases, okay? But I started last week because I watched Morning Joe to see what direction they're trying to take our country in on a daily basis. So Minka likes to, it's like she hears a dog whistle. So I explain every day, I'm not calling her a dog, but I call this Minka's dog whistle picture of the day. Put up Minka. You see that? Now, that's my Minka. I tell you, folks, that's just, if you were watching this morning, look at that. And Joe's sticking his tongue out, too. Like, you know, they're like Mutt and Jeff. Look at that. Oh. All right, so Conyers is going to fight the sexual harassment allegations. Put up Representative Conyers. Put up Conyers there. Representative Conyers on sexual harassment allegations. I deny these allegations. Okay? I deny these allegations. Many of which were raised by documents reportedly paid for by partisan alt-right bloggers. Wait a minute. I deny these allegations, many of which were raised by documents reportedly paid for by partisan alt-right bloggers. Fusion GPS, the DNC. I got you, John. I'm figuring this out. I understand where you're coming from. It's almost like Fusion GPS, which was paid by the Hillary Clinton campaign, the alt-left, and the DNC to Michael Steele, a foreign agent, to write the Trump dossier. I get it now. I see where you're coming from. I deny these allegations, many of which were raised by documents reportedly paid for by a partisan alt-right blogger. I very much look forward to vindicating myself and my family before the House on Ethics, the House Committee on Ethics. Watch this Ethics Committee, folks. Watch it. Watch it close. Watch what it turns into. All right? Now, Conyers says that. And, do I have a picture of Pelosi or I don't have one? All right? It's okay if I don't. Okay, Congress says that. I mean, Conyers says that. And Pelosi says, hey, we have to have due process. I mean, we got to have due process. Wait a minute. Why do we... No, I don't want Nancy and Chuck. God knows I don't want to look at Nancy and Chuck. I appreciate that. I appreciate the gesture. Oh. Anyhow. So, folks, nothing about Pelosi and Conyers until 9 o'clock. Okay? Nothing on MSNBC to start the day saying Pelosi is backing Conyers. Everything is about Trump backing Moore, Roy Moore. But nothing about Pelosi backing Conyers. Nothing. Nothing about it. But what does Pelosi say? She tells Chuck Todd, you know, hey, Chuck Todd says, is Conyers in or out? I got to give it to him. Is Conyers in or out? Okay? He's the oldest serving member in Congress. Due process. And then Pelosi said, just because somebody is accused, just because they're accused. Now listen to what Pelosi said. Due process, just because somebody's accused, and John Conyers is an icon. That's why MSNBC came out this morning. And Minka, Joe didn't say it, they set it up. Minka said, every case needs to be handled different. Now it's every case needs to be handled different. Interesting. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to come back to some of these things at 9 o'clock. I'm going to tell you why Michael Flynn, the big news in the Russia investigation, as the left-wing media wants you to believe, is Flynn has cut a deal. And that's why they cut ties with the Trump lawyers. This is very much in line of how things work. They no longer can disclose information that they're talking to the special prosecutor about once they enter into any kind of agreements. You got to understand, Turkey and Russia are two different countries, but we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to tell you my opinion on what's going on with Michael Flynn. All right, when we come back. I'm going to take a break now. I'm running a little long. When we come back, let's talk a minute of college football, okay? Let's hear what you have to say. 706-889-9700. Jason Banks the director of Team FYN Sports, will be with us right after these commercial breaks.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
What you gonna do with all that junk?